So let's have a look at angling itself. You know, carp angling and match angling are seemingly very, very different sports, but you know what? There's a lot of similarities as well. For example, fishing the method is actually very similar to a PVA bag. And what about pellet waggler fishing? Well, you're up in the water feeding over the top. That is zig rigging. And today we're going to put that to the test. What are the differences and similarities between carp methods and match methods? Now, joining me today to put these things to the test is one of the biggest faces and biggest names in the world of match fishing. It's Jamie Hughes. What, it's not? It's not Jamie Hughes, sorry, it's Nick Speed. What, Nick's not available either? Oh, it's it's not Rob Wootton. Andy, sorry. Joining me today is one of the biggest names in match fishing. It's Andy Kinder. Sorry, it's Andy May. Andy May? It's Andy May. Well, you know what? I love him really. He's an absolute superstar. It's great to see you, mate. It's great to see you. Now, I was talking about motorsport earlier and the similarities between motorsport and fishing and so on and so forth. And I see you've dressed for the occasion. You look like a speedway rider, you match anglers.
How dare you? I don't want to get covered in slime and everything, mate. I want to go for a pint after. At least I'm not dressed like an actual hedge. You know, if you're going to blend in with something, you might as well dress yourself as a brick wall or a railing or something.
Actually, that's a good point, actually. We could get urban camo, couldn't we? We could walk around in graffiti.
I can see your head and your hands, that's about it.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Exactly what we want. Look, we're going to have a bit of fun and games today. What we're going to be doing is looking at the differences and similarities between some of our different methods. We're going to be looking at what? You're on a pellet waggler.
Pellet waggler, yeah.
I'm going to look at zigs. We might even look if they go down on the deck at PVA bags and method as well.
We're down on the bottom this time of year, Rob. Everything's 4 foot or less, mate. Come on.
Well, we'll have a go. Tactics. You love fishing shallow.
Yeah, no plummets whatsoever in my box.
All about the shallow with this bloke. All about the shallow. Right, I'm going to talk about zig rigging now, and zigging is absolutely fantastic. It's a great way of catching either big fish, big solitary fish that are feeding up in the water, or alternatively having a big hit of fish too. Now, if you're a clear water angler that wants to catch individual big fish, and it's the summertime, particularly spring as well, it works well. Get a black zig, pop it about a foot below the surface, and it works really well. But we're here at Drayton today, and my aim is to try and get lots and lots of bites. I'm going to put a load of food in one place, and I'm going to fish a zig underneath it. And this is basically the zig. Now, it's a method that some people use and have mastered, but it's also a method that some people won't go anywhere near or try half-heartedly. If you haven't tried it, please, please, please do try it, because it's absolutely brilliant. I think the older carp anglers tend to shy away from it because it's not food, and it seems alien just throwing a piece of flip-flop in the water and expecting the carp to eat it. But they do, and you've only got to look at how many people catch on zigs to know it works. It's just you getting it right. So the idea today is we're going to demonstrate exactly how it works and see how good it is against the old pellet waggler as well. We're fishing up in the water. I've got black and yellow. I've got another one which is just yellow and another one which is just black. You can use red, you can use brown, you can use pink, all sorts of combinations. But this will be going out in the pond, and it's important to put feed over the top of it, because as those particles fall through the water and the fish come in and start to hit them, they're going to mistake this as food. And that's when really we're going to get the peg rocking.
Yes! First chuck, first fish on the bestest way of fishing ever. That bleepy runny business and opening cons of Stella and all that. This is how you want to be catching fishes. And I think my match gears are quite up to it actually. It's a bit wobbly. Look at bend, get bending that rod, look at bending that rod. I don't think I didn't count on me landing net. Now, it's like a little butterfly net compared to Rob's, to be fair, so Rob's on standby behind me, just in case. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's going. He's going. So we've got that drag set just right, just in case. Oh, that's a proper good fight, this. It's a proper good fight.
Same one or a different one? You've been playing it that
long.
long?
You? Just because we're not on £27 test cubes. Oh yes! We don't need a specie net for these. You know what I mean? Here we go then, folks. First of the session, probably a mid-20. I'll do my carpy pose. No, it's probably about what, £12, something like that. Proper lovely fish to start the session, and I think we'll slip this beauty back and go and catch about 1 million more. Yeah! 1-0, Rob. Booze!
There's one thing that you've got to do before you do anything else, and that is find out how deep the water is. If you don't know how deep the water is, then you don't know how deep you should be fishing. So I've got a straightforward marker float, braid running through. I have a nylon leader, and this is an interesting point actually. Nylon leader will allow the float to slide through it. I see people using braid on a marker rod. You know what? It's not that good for the leader itself. Float, big bead, lead. I'm basically going to use it in the normal way, just chuck it out there and find out how deep it is. When I know how deep it is, that's when I can set my zig. So out it goes. I'm going to pick a reasonable distance out there, probably 70, 80 yards. There's not that many more people here at the moment, so I don't need to be out casting them. So I'm just going to pop it in there, feel it down. I know that Drayton's quite deep, 15, 16, 17 feet. It fluctuates quite a bit, so don't listen to what people have told you in the past. Test it for yourself, because this lake is used as a balancing lake for the canals around the area, and as a result it can drop 3 foot overnight sometimes if they need water. So just going to find out the depth there. That's nicely on the bottom, just in the normal way. Pop it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You notice how quickly I'm doing that. The float will pop straight up because it's on a nylon leader. If it was braid, it'd come a lot slower. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 feet. So it's just popped up at 17 there. So I know that if I want to be near the surface, I've got to be a 16-foot zig. A little bit further down, I can drop down to 12, 13, 14 feet and be 3, 4 foot below the surface. Now, 3 odd foot below the surface for me is quite a nice starting point, because it's where that cloud is going to be starting to disperse a little bit as I start putting it in. And what I would expect is the fish will come to it and then start moving up or down in the water. If you put a lot of heavy bait in it, they'll sink down and feed on the bottom. If it's light and cloud, they'll come up towards the surface. So 3, 4 foot below the surface at this depth, that's a nice starting point. Well, it's been a bit hectic, in fact so hectic that I've run out of mix, so it's time to make some more up. So I'll just show you what I'm going to be using. I've got all the ingredients here, but the first one is Zig Cloud. Now you'll see this does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a cloud mix for zig rigging. Very fine powders, got tiger nut flour in there, you've got crushed biscuit, all sorts of lovelies that will hang in the water. So I'm going to have a good dollop of that. Now, I like to mix up the mixes as I go, so I'll make a reasonable amount and then make another amount later on, rather than just doing a load right at the beginning that you've got to top up and mix with water again. So that is the starter. I'm then going to put some of this in, and this is Sweet Tiger liquid. Again, this is a lovely cloudy, sweet liquid, and it's the combination of the liquid and the cloud in the water that holds those fish up. Now, we can't just give them smell, we've got to give them something to eat, and that comes in the form of corn. Now, every fish that swims loves sweet corn, and just putting a bit of corn in there just to drop down through the water, that will attract the fish in, and the yellow zigs are mimicking the falling corn. The next is marine halibut pellets, and these are 4mm. And once again, these are to mimic the black zig on the way down. So as these are falling through the water, they'll attract the fish in as well. So 2 nice handfuls of those. And then on top of that, we're now going to put some liquid. Now, I love white chocolate liquid. It smells gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. So a good old squirt of that in there. And then some oil as well. Now, the oil will help flatten the water off, and it will also send a message. It will also send a message from the bottom up. So that will draw fish right to the surface from the bottom if they're down there as well. That will pull them up in the water. So another brilliant additive. And then the last thing is we just put a bit of water in it, mix it all around, and make it into a soupy, spoddy, cloudy mix. You know what? When this thing goes, it goes, and there's not a lot can keep up with it. Not a lot that can keep up with it. Match angler or no match angler, speed angler or no speed angler. When you get them going, spodding over zigs, it can be absolutely devastating. Come on, you. Are you watching, Mr. May? Are you watching? Get on the flip-flop. Oh. Some people say oosh. I say boom. Ha ha!
Call that a fish? Skimmer. Okay then, so the pellet waggler. Well, let me talk you a little bit through it. It involves a pellet waggler, loads of different sizes, and an actual pellet. Dead easy. Setup couldn't be simpler. Basically, I'm using a 12-foot rod today. Don't need to go any longer than that where I'm casting 35-40 yards. It's all about the line pickup. 0.22 main line because they're quite big and wobbly in here. And then coming down to the float itself, anything from 6 to 8 gram. All I've got is a snap link swivel there that attaches the float. Got 2 rubber stops one side, one the other, because of the resistance when you cast in. And I've set it about sort of 4 foot. That's something to play around with. Hook length wise, I'm using 0.20 again because of the big fish. But what I've found obviously over the years is the thicker the line that you use, the slower the actual bait falls, which is what you want, because what I'm looking to do is feed first and then cast into it, so that the carp are sort of like rushing round into the bait, and then the next noise you hear is obviously your waggler and then your bait landing, and then they're just zoning in it. Let's go and snare some. Okay then, so some quick tips with the pellets. Now, I say I want to be catching my fish no further ideally than sort of 40 yards. That's a nice comfy distance with sort of up to an 8 gram waggler. But on these big open expanses of water, what can happen is, especially when the wind gets up, it's going to push the fish further out. Now, Dynamite Baits have done some pinging pellets where you can really get some distance on them. So if you have a look at these bad boys, proper donkey chokers, look at the size of them. Sort of 11mm pellets compared to the traditional 8mm pellets. Now, the other thing with these as well is the actual noise of them. They go in like badoosh, and obviously the fish are coming in from quite a big area, and they'll come in and home in on that noise. So if the fish do start to sort of like go out, which as I said they can do on these open waters, that's when I'd look to use more sort of like an 11 or a 12mm pellet. And obviously increase your waggler size as well up to a 10 gram or a 12 gram, something like that. It's just a little quick tip, because I'm all about giving quick tips, you know what I mean? I don't just hold anything back, I give you it all. Let's go and catch some. Yeah, boy. See what I'm talking about, Rob? These max anglers catch proper ones, not them little baby ones what you catch. It's like 28 foot down. I think I might have to come down there for this one. There we go, it's fish number 2, second in, probably about 5 casts. Come on, Rob, you're well behind me. Yeah, boy.
Right, I've had a few fish now, but actually my bites have slowed down a little bit. Andy next door is still catching. So something's happened in my peg. The fish have moved. The big question is, where have they moved to? They could go further away. Sometimes they back off the pressure. I've caught a few, that could be the case. They could go left, they could go right, they could come closer. But a lot of the time where there's food around, they'll actually stay in the same spot. They'll either come up in the water or down. So they could be following the heavy bits to go down to the bottom and feed on the bottom, or alternatively they could be intercepting the bait higher up as soon as it hits the water. Now I know it's 16 feet deep and I've got a zig on of 12 and 13 feet, so I'm 3 foot below the surface and 4 foot below the surface, which if you think about it is a fair way below the surface. If they're on the deck, I'm miles away from them. You know, I'm 12 foot away from them. If they're on the surface, then they're 3 foot, even 4 foot above me. And remember, carp's eyes are on the top of their head. So what I need to do is find out now where the fish are. He's catching them shallow. He's catching them 3 foot below the surface on the drop. So even 2 foot below the surface, his hook link's only 3 foot long. So what I'm going to do now, just to test, and it's brilliant here, is I'm going to put some mixers out. These are bog standard basic mixers. I've put a little bit of Tiger Nut flavour on them as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn some of those out, and I'm going to watch the water really carefully. And this is a great way of finding out where the fish are. Have they gone up or have they gone down? So we'll put some feed in there as well as normal. There's a few mixes in there. Now if they're up, they're going to hit these baits on the surface very quickly, so we'll see. If we don't see them hitting those baits very quickly on the surface, I know they've gone down. What I'll then have to do is either shorten my zig rig so it goes down in the water and even fish on the bottom possibly, or alternatively, if I see action on the surface, I'll lengthen it and come right up to the top. So this is a crucial stage, because when your bites dry up, don't give up. They're there somewhere. You've just got to find out where they are. So hit it high, drop it down. That's fallen a little bit short, but I'm happy with that because the wind's just started blowing away from us now. So you can see the slick there. I've just seen a fish just move behind it. I'm going to put another one out as well. And what I'm going to do then is just watch that slick and see if any fish come up to intercept those surface baits. And if they do, I know I've got to come up in the water. And I suspect on a day like today that that's what's happening. Oh, yeah. That's it. Oh, mate, this is pulling a bit. This is pulling. I see Andy next door's just landed a bit of a unit. And this one is playing the game as well, for sure. They don't half fight hard, these creatures. Come on.
How long is it taking you on your special gear?
Well, you know.
Come on.
Look, it's all about enjoying the fight, isn't it?
I love the fight of this one.
Here he is. Come on. Yes.
Nice.
Happy Christmas. Right, let's find out how big your monster is.
Oh, this is not a match size fish, Rob. I tell you what. It's like 4 fish in one for me, this.
What's your PB?
It's 26.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's not going to be 26. It might be 20 though, mightn't it?
It
might be 20, yeah.
Wide. It's a bit angry as well.
Lift him up. Let's pop that under there.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, he's safely in there.
17 or something, isn't it?
I reckon he's probably just shy. 17 and a half, 18 pound maybe. Either way.
It's a beauty.
Isn't it?
It's catching them little baby ones.
Good fun on the old Pellet Waggler rod though, isn't it? Let's have a look at this. What we got?
Oh, 18 pounds and 10 ounces.
18.10.
Still
Still a
not
good
bad,
one.
is it that?
Boom.
Boosh. Nice and that,
Oh,
mate.
boom and a boosh.
I'm happy with that. My one. You can tell my one because it's considerably larger.
Considerably.
Considerably. £6 larger.
Oh, can you do the Carp angler's grip though?
Ready. We're there.
There we are.
We're there.
How's that? Oh, keep your tail still.
Yes.
Well, this is it. Here we are. Drayton Reservoir. Pellet Waggler. Zig rigging.
Get smashed up, innit?
Wow. So
on,
he
lad.
says. So he says. You can tell who's doing the work.
Yeah, I
Look,
haven't had a go yet.
Clean and dirty.
What's in store for me in a bit, Rob?
Well, first thing is, let's talk through the day. You've had
Go
an
on, mate.
absolutely brilliant day.
Mate.
You know,
It's been amazing. I don't think I've ever been to anywhere where when your float goes under, you strike into it, solid resistance, you know it's going to be a double figure fish. I don't think I've been anywhere like that.
every cast is a double. You've had a 20,
I've had it, yeah, just over 20.
a couple of
20
18
pounds.
pounders as well.
Yeah, it's just been ridiculous.
I tell you, this is one of the good things about match anglers, you see, because what they do is they progress through their career. They
Catch
start
the bigger
off,
ones.
start off catching them, then they want to catch them Formula Ones or whatever they're called.
F1s, yeah,
and
that's
then after that you go up and start carp bagging.
Yeah, like
And
a big one for us is like £8 or something.
Exactly. So pellet waggler or bomb and pellet, that's when you start catching the
Yeah,
bigger ones.
yeah.
And lo and behold, you're 3/4 of the way there to a carp angler. Your transition is nearly complete. What you've got to do now is you've got to come over to this side of the platform and you've got to have a go on the zig rigs.
I've been watching you, Rob,
Yeah.
from afar, next peg, and it does look quite interesting actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind giving it a go.
Like when it
I've got to change of
goes,
clothes.
when it goes, it's carnage. As we've seen, it's
Yeah,
got, you know,
mate.
you get a bite, then suddenly it's all gone. And
Yeah.
well, look, get ready. Give me a bit of a lesson on that first. Let's perfect that. Let's see what the difference is.
Yeah.
So I can see, having caught a load on my method, what it's like on yours, and then you can have a bit of a bash up on mine as well.
Look forward to it.
Happy days. So this is it. The first question I've got is, how'd you get on it? Is it like, vroom, speedway? Oi.
Don't you start, Rob. You've got
Right.
to face the water
Oh.
to start with now. Come on.
Hey, it's comfy, isn't it?
I've even baited up for you and everything.
It
mate.
is comfy.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Right,
So
come on, I want to see what you're doing first. Go on, what we're going to do? You're going to
Well,
cast in first? You're not
we're
going to put
gonna-
any bait in?
I just want to see if I can reach the
Go
distance
on, mate,
first.
go
There's a
on.
lot of fizz out there, isn't it? Cole,
There
your
is.
peg's absolutely solid,
There
right?
is, mate.
What we're going to do, we'll stick that down there.
Come on.
Got a nice little selection.
Yes.
I'm
That's
going to
it.
put 5 pellets in on that fizz. 3 of them are going to land on my knee.
Where?
Down there, look. And 2 of them got out there.
Mate,
Right.
the fish are like that. They're starving, they want some more bait.
We can
Come
hear
on,
5
come on.
leaving. Oh no, they're all on the deck. Right, 3. See if we can get 3 out there. Look
Come
at
on, that's 3. Nice triangle formation.
that.
Right, come on.
One of them
Quick
was
as
in the
you like,
right
cast into it.
postcode.
Come on, quick as you like.
Right, so you got to do
We'll
it
have a
quick,
look at
have
this,
you?
We'll have a look at this. We'll have a look at this. And dosh.
How short was that?
So that's sort of what we want to do, Rob. Right, ideally it's been miles better feeding a few more, so sort of
Right.
like 8 to 10.
Okay,
Chuck it further and like you got that, and we've knocked the pellet off.
we haven't, have we? Did we knock the pellet off? I heard a ting.
You might catch on the band though. I've heard
Nah,
you're quite lucky.
that didn't knock the pellet off. Right, so that's the bait on the deck. So now we've got a spod over the top of it.
How much are you putting in?
Well, you
That's
just
it.
told me to put more in. Look,
That's
they're
it, that's
crashing
it.
behind.
Perfect.
Right.
And then give it a twitch
Thud.
into that bait, but you ain't got a pellet on. It don't matter. You still catch.
What do you
on the
mean we
band.
ain't got a pellet on?
You haven't. It's been dinked off. That's it.
That's it?
it.
Right,
Give it a twitch back.
so range is right.
That's it. Range is all right. We'll come back, put a pellet on. So you got a
Right,
cast, Rob.
it's coming.
Stand up.
And you were actually right. We haven't
Just
got a
like
pellet
I
on.
said, folks, no pellet on. But you can sometimes catch your bands on, just not today. Right. Do you
Right.
need one of them bander baits? Or you're all right, put them on.
Go on, I haven't seen it.
Right, so middle finger and thumb.
Yeah,
Present the band round to the side.
yeah.
Index fingernail.
Yeah.
Right the way through, and pull it over.
See, this is the difference between a carp angler and a match
you have
angler.
it glued on or something, or like
No, we
spiked in, wouldn't
we
you?
bite on nails.
Oh, no nails.
No
do
nails,
nails.
at all. Right.
Do nails.
So let's have this back
That's
out
it.
a little bit further. I'm going to have to stand up now, or
That's
I'm going
it.
to ting that ting again.
And dosh and feather. Boosh, that looks good,
Right.
mate. Looks good.
It's
Don't
in.
move it, and then get some bait round. What we could be doing if we're not getting bites, like changing depths and. Ooh, oh, you see that one? Take it straight away. That's another. That's the second bite he's missed. Well,
That wasn't a bite.
it was.
Hey?
Took it on the drop.
No, it
Probably a
didn't.
roach. I'll let you off. Ooh, go on.
Hey, gets on
we're
it.
in.
See, that didn't even have a bleep.
Fish on.
Didn't even have a bleep.
Go on, Rob. Legend, mate. Come on.
God, you frightened the life out of me
Do you
with
want
that.
me to
Then.
feed for you?
You feeding as well?
See, you've got to do this as well. You've got to feed. Match style tactics. Whilst you're playing a fish, I don't want anyone, i.e. you,
Yeah.
who's at the side of me, nicking my fish.
Mate, I ain't being funny, but I can feel your rod bending down to here at the moment.
Yeah, proper action, mate. I suppose we better net it, haven't we?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be in Coventry, let alone Daventry in a minute.
Enjoying the fight?
I am. I could do with it being over now, though. I'd like this one in. Oh, he's got a bit of width on him,
That
actually.
is massive.
Hasn't he?
Man.
Quite a big fish, that. Go on, get in the frying pan. Get in the frying pan.
Yes, mate.
It's in the frying
Come
pan.
Yes.
Right then, go
Come
on.
on,
How
mate.
big is
It's
it?
a beast. It is. Oh, mate. It's 20 pounds 12. That's
Get in
bigger
there.
than the one I caught.
Yeah!
No, Rob. Mate,
Bosh.
you're another one of them, you are. What a beast. Let's have another look at it.
Quality.
Proper.
Right, zig time. And the first thing we've got to do is get some bait in. You know, if you take your foot off the gas with feed,
Definitely.
they disappear.
Yeah.
Exactly the same with us. The whole idea with this is you've just got to keep the bait going in, keep the bait going in, keep the bait going in. So, got to look at the bait. Now, here it is, but the first thing I'm going to say is that's dried. It's dried up too much. Do you want to try it? Have a sniff of
It
it.
does smell amazing, actually. It's sort of like sweety flavours in it.
Exactly.
Is that something you believe in? Flavourings and all that, Rob?
Without any shadow of a doubt,
Right,
the liquid
okay.
is what pulls this in. You know, you
Right.
want that cloud and that liquid and that smell
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
water. So you've got to get the cloud in, but you've
Yeah.
also got to get the smelly liquid in too. And that tiger nut liquid is absolutely brilliant because it's sweet
Come on.
and it's a
Right.
nice colour. But this is now too dry because it's dried out for an hour or two.
Yeah, yeah.
So rather than putting that in, that'll just go straight in and drop down.
Yeah.
So what we've got to do is we've got to put some more water on it. So we'll bosh a load of water in,
Wowza, that's a lot, mate. So
So-
you want it really sloppy then, don't you? Like
Really?
like a soup.
just like a soup. It wants to be.
What are you trying to do, mate?
Oh, mate,
It's going
look.
to show up even more on black.
Don't worry about that.
How dare you?
Look, it's inevitable. So
You said it was
get
going
on
to
with
get
it.
messy.
Get on with it.
That's why I brought
So-
a change of clothes.
This is what we're looking for. There might be a few
Yes.
lumps in there, which I don't mind, but that's what we want. Right, nice slop.
And that
We call it a
lingers
spot
for
slop.
ages, does it?
Just hang in the water. Have a look at this down here. That's basically what it does, and the fish will come up.
wowzers.
There's the odd floater in there as well, just to get them right up. But see, there's little bits
Floating
falling.
bait, so how dare you? I thought I'd seen them coming up in the water.
It's got to be done.
You know what I mean?
Identification
No, I'll have to do that in
purpose.
matches. Right, come on, I want to go with this.
This is a spawn,
Yeah,
right? Bait delivery system. As you can see, it looks like an airship.
yeah.
Button on the end of it,
Nice.
which opens it. So it works by flying through the air, hitting there, and
Gosh.
opening out.
And I've seen you
Bosh.
like, you're literally in and then straight out, aren't you?
Straight out again.
Right,
Once it's
okay.
opened, you don't need to do anything with it. When you load it, there's a key point. So you can open it
Yeah.
on yourself. Always hold it. You can't tell when it's shut, but you get used to it. Always hold it
Yeah.
and load it with that wall at the bottom.
At the bottom, right.
Yeah, because
okay.
if you load it that way around, all the gubbins gets in there. You can't shut it.
Can't shut it.
So you might get a negligent discharge on that, and we don't like
Cheeky,
them.
no, we don't like them.
So you can load it by hand, or alternatively, you can
I'm
load
gonna
it with a
use
spoon.
scooper.
So
Look at you,
fill it
ladling
in.
it. Nice.
just about right. Shut, shake down,
Shut and shake.
shut and shake, and then yeah, I'll just show you how we do it first.
Go on, mate.
So and then it's in the clip already.
Yeah.
So there's a white post and a big tree out there. So you're basically aiming for that. See it?
Yeah.
So over the top,
Yeah.
get nice and comfy. Out it goes, rod in the air, hit the clip, drop it
Dosh.
down. Down it goes, shut
And
it,
that's it.
back in again.
Make it a go. Come on.
And in it comes.
Let's have a go. That
Now,
was amazing.
This is, I think this is a £5 test curve rod.
What?
And with the big ones of these, we can put a pound of bait out at a time.
A pound of bait?
Yeah,
So that's not
pound
big
of bait. No, that's a medium. So
You're just in beast mode, aren't you?
so when you're reeling it in,
Yeah.
literally to hand,
Yeah.
and it's all about the speed. If you stand just beyond your bucket,
Yeah.
that's what it's all about. Speed load, little slop in there, I've not quite got enough in. Bit of slop in there.
Yeah.
On we go. Shut it. Shake it.
Shake.
Over to
And
you.
away we go. Shut, shake, and away we go.
So normal cast. Straight overhead. Oh, you go over your left, don't you? I'm going to get gooey now. Rod up. Hit the clip. Follow it down. Lovely.
Yeah!
Bang on it.
Come
Good
on.
lad. That's
like
open
that.
nicely. Swing it in. What we're going to do is we're going to put 5 out.
5, right, okay.
Yeah.
And then get a bait right over the top of it.
And then get a bait out over the top. But we'll put the 5 out first, just like you know, priming the peg.
Yeah.
Just
Right,
how it's
so-
twisted there. Just when it hit the water, it's bounced a little bit.
That's
So
the
just
bottom.
check your line, look. So that's gone through the hinge. Bring him back around. Ready to load
At
again.
the bottom right. So that's labelled.
Scoop it in. A little baby scoop.
Soup.
So.
Right. Shut. Shake.
Yeah, shake it down.
Right,
Give it
really?
one good bang down, that's it. So it all goes towards the front, because if there's any bits that sit towards the back, it makes it wobble in the air. If the weight is forwards, it'll fly straighter. Over the back, off we go, in the air, a bit hard. A little bit left.
Was that a bit
peg,
left?
Your peg nearly.
I'm trying to get something
Yeah.
on my peg.
Maybe 10 foot to the right, but it's not far off.
Was it that far out?
Yeah.
Not really. I might have been. It's all over you.
I know,
Cheers, mate.
I know. You've got a bit on you. There, look.
No. Cheers, Rob.
Right. Over it, I think. Oh, go on then. Go on. There we
Yeah.
are. Go on. Let's have it. Yeah, go on. That's about it. That's about it. Go on. Yeah.
Mate.
Now, you know, a lot of people think that it's just going to be beep, but
Oh, honestly, Rob,
Yeah.
that is. Yes. I honestly thought you could just wobble them all the way in like a skimmer, but mate, some power there. Tell you what, some power there compared to ours.
go on.
So how would you normally play them? Because traditionally I like to keep mine low, but I've seen you playing them.
Yeah, it's high or low. The thing is, with such a long hook length, when it comes in, you've got to play it high. And also, because there's a little bit of debris on the bottom down here, it's better to keep the lead off the deck. You know,
Right.
if we were dropping the lead, which you can do in certain situations, then you can play them low. And a lot of carp anglers with copper dew match lads playing them in with the rod tip down,
Yeah.
because it brings them in so much easier.
It does. Oh, mate. What a fight.
Spodding over zigs. Your match angling mates are going to be jealous. Come on now. Come on, let's have you. Oh. See, it's still not giving up yet, is it?
Tell you what. Come on, let's get up here. Oh, look at that in that clear water.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. And it's in there. I can't give you the high five from here. I need arms as long as your landing net.
There's one of them.
Mate, we got one.
Yay! Come on! That is amazing. Look at that.
Well, that's it. Time to let these bad boys go at the end of a session, mate. It's been an absolute perler.
Rob, look at the size of these and the beauty of them.
Tandem slide.
We haven't.
1, 2, 3. Whee!
Yes!
And that is what it's all about.
That's been awesome.
Just brilliant, mate. I love that bit at the end. Look at you now.